Hello, I'm Luna, and welcome to the Conscious Kids interview.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. We will be interviewing a kid named Ryan,
who is battling cancer at the moment. He has a really inspiring story, so we hope you stick around for it.
We hope you enjoy.
Hello, Ryan.
Hi.
Hi. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, how old are you? What grade are you in?
I'm 8, and I'm in 3rd grade.
3rd grade?
Yep.
How's 3rd grade looking for you?
Pretty good.
What's your favorite subject?
I think it's science.
Science? What about science that you enjoy?
I just like the science experiences.
Oh. Personally, I like science too.
So, I have a question for you. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food. Well, while I was in the hospital, but not in the hospital, when all the chemo drugs was going on, I liked spicy stuff. So what I was mostly eating for lunch was buffalo chicken subs.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
Fire.
Do you have any other favorite spicy foods? Do you like spicy chip?
My dad makes steak fajitas. They are really yummy.
Wonderful.
What do you like to do for fun?
I usually just play video games.
Same.
I agree.
So, like, what type of game do you like to play?
Yes, Fortnite's the best.
You can tell by your shirt.
Do you like Minecraft?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Play any Roblox games or anything like that?
No, my mom doesn't allow it.
Are you excited about the Minecraft movie?
Yeah, we're gonna watch it when it goes out.
That'd be
Awesome.
So, what is the best gift you have ever received?
I got the Nintendo, and for my Make-A-Wish boat, I got a Make-A-Wish, and I chose a boat.
Nice.
You got a dirt bike when you were 3 years old from your pop.
Yeah, I did get a dirt bike, which was...
You've got electric bikes.
Yes, I got electric bikes.
Nice.
It's gotten a lot of good gifts.
And what is exactly a Make-A-Wish?
Make-A-Wish, sometimes when you get diagnosed with cancer, you get, like, Make-A-Wish stuff. Like, you can make one wish in your life. Either you can go on a trip, people can, like, make a shed or something for you, or you can get a boat or something like that.
Or you can meet someone famous, or...
Pretty cool.
Yeah. They have you choose between 2 things. What did they have you choose between?
I have a question. Is it like an actual boat that goes on the water or vote?
Actual boat.
What type of boat? What's it called?
I don't know.
How big is said boat? Like a mini yacht?
No.
A fishing boat?
No, not.
It's a pontoon boat.
Oh, a pontoon boat.
Mm-hmm.
So, you mentioned earlier that you have cancer. Can you tell us what type of cancer you have?
Do you remember?
No. B something.
It's BALL.
It's a type of blood cancer.
Yeah. Do you know exactly how you got it?
One rogue blood cell. So one blood cell decided to sneak past the body's defenses and start multiplying.
Yeah.
And your blood is made in your bone marrow. And that's where his cancer was.
And how did you know that you had cancer? Like, what triggered?
I was kind of pale. I thought it was diabetes first, but it was actually blood cancer. I was just very, very pale.
What else? What was back in October? What happened in October that started everything? After you were racing on Saturday, how did you feel on Sunday?
Laying in bed all day, feeling goopy.
The first signs were his back was hurting him.
Yeah.
So we raced dirt bikes on the weekends. And so we just thought, oh, he hit a jump weird and now his back hurts. So he's kind of walking like a penguin, dragging his back leg and just really ouchy. So we thought, oh, great. He has bad back, just like his mom and dad. So we went to the chiropractor and we'd get adjustments and he'd feel better. And then a couple days later, with any type of activity, he would start to feel like his back was going out again and his back would hurt. So we'd get another adjustment and it would be better for a little while. And we went through this from October till about February. And then in February, he looked very pale and he had to show up for his banquet. So an award ceremony. He, even with cancer, this kid got first place in his dirt bike class. So tough cookie, let me tell you.
Yep.
But he'd go back and forth between feeling fine and feeling really ouchy and his back just really sore. Like if you've ever had the flu and felt really achy, that's kind of how he felt all the time. Because what those blood cells were doing was the cancer was causing those blood cells to expand and put pressure on all the vertebrae in his back, because that is where a lot of your blood cells are made, in those vertebrae.
Like a swollen blood cell in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And so come February, he was looking really, really white. And at this party, he actually looked yellow underneath the really old lighting. So I was like, oh my gosh, yellow skin tone. That's like problems with your liver. As babies can experience jaundice, which is a condition where the liver isn't producing the proper bilirubin and whatnot. So we started researching and we found a case study of a 8-year-old boy with yellow skin. And that child had type 1 juvenile diabetes. So we were like, okay, maybe this is it. And it would factor into why his blood count was high, or his sugar count was high. We borrowed the neighbor's test kit and tested it for a week. His counts were high. So we thought, okay, he has juvenile diabetes. So we went to the emergency room and there we found out that his blood cells, there's 3 different levels to them. Each one of them was so low, he only had 1/3 of his blood that his body needed.
Oh, wow.
So had we waited the 2 more weeks for his pediatrician appointment, he would have been passed out, like done for.
Oh, wow.
So,
You guys are really lucky that you found out just in time.
yes, we did. You know, God's got a plan and it is good.
Yep.
So it's all perfect timing.
I'm proud of you, Ryan.
Because we still had our Florida insurance from living there. And we weren't sure whether we were coming back or whether we were going to stay here. But with him getting so sick, we're like, look, we either have to go back to Florida and start seeing the doctors there, or we have to file our taxes for North Carolina and try to get health insurance here so that he can go to the doctor. And so we got our health insurance on a Friday and we went into the hospital on a Monday. So it was really quick and he had to have blood transfusions.
Yep.
How many?
2 or 3.
3? I think 3 blood transfusions. And then they found out that he had cancer, but they didn't tell us what type until a whole nother week.
Oh, wow.
But he has the best type of cancer that a kid can have. It is curable. And it's pretty much the easiest to go through. Thankfully.
That's good. So I'm really proud of you. You're still here today.
Do you know anybody else who's battling cancer?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Not personally, but we have friends that are.
Do you know any people that are like sick or just going through something?
Well, my mom has some people that's been battling through some types of cancers.
Mhm. Lost your uncle
Yeah.
about a year and a half ago to cancer.
Sorry about that.
So, how did you stay positive while battling cancer? What thing gets you through the hard days?
Well, I just trust in God that He has a good plan for me.
Very good. I love God. So, what do you think God's plan is for you?
I don't really know, but I know He just has a good plan for me in life.
Very cool. So, if you met someone who had something, the same thing you had or something similar, what would you say to them?
I would say that it is the most curable cancer there is, and they're gonna be safe.
Okay.
What's the recovery process for cancer?
So it was 6 months of hardcore chemo, some of them being spinal taps. So they had to put him to sleep and inject the chemotherapy right into his spine so that his brain and spinal fluid could be treated. And then other chemotherapies went into his main body. And sometimes it looks like injections into his port. And then other times it looks like pills. So we had 6 months of that. And now we'll have 2 years of what's called maintenance. And maintenance switches between 2 different types of pill form chemo, with going once a month for blood work to make sure that there's no cancer cells in his blood.
What is something you wish people understand about having cancer?
If people are sick, I would want them to stay away, because sometimes that can be really, really bad.
So his cancer has a 98% cure rate. They told us that the 2% that don't get cured, that wind up passing away, are usually from secondary infections, from a cold. So every weekend he has a antibiotic that he takes to make sure that he doesn't get an infection in his lungs. So a common cold that, we get over in a couple of weeks could kill someone with cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a risk going to church youth group on Wednesday nights. It's a risk going to school, going to the grocery store. So everything that we do, you have to either trust God, or you have to be ridiculously careful, or you just don't do things. So it's a little bit of an adjustment, and it's hard to decide what to do, right? You wanted to go to Dave and Buster's for his birthday, but that's a lot of indoor germs and touch points.
Yep.
So what do we do instead?
I don't know.
We rented a pontoon boat.
Oh, yeah.
And had a family day instead. So things are just a little bit different. You kind of have to think things through a lot more carefully.
Yeah. How long does that last?
It's 2.5 years.
I wanted to hop in here and ask a question for Mom.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious, as a parent myself, so I have 3 kids. I have 2 girls and 1 son. What have been kind of some of your big takeaways and some of the things that you've really learned and are learning and growing in through this?
I think faith is everything. Going into it, we knew that something was wrong, but we didn't know what. So just trusting God's timing and everything, it's never failed to be perfect. Like, I don't know if you know the story of the space that you guys are currently in, but that was our home. And everything fell into line with that home and with Sophie and with her getting in it and us doing camp. And, if you trust the process, God's got a plan and it is good. So it's more of, we haven't cried. It hasn't been oh, boo-hoo, he has cancer. Like, it's sucky. There's been him coming out of anesthesia after he had the port placed was probably the worst part of this all, because he panicked when they pulled the tube out of his throat because it hurt and it was really sore and scratchy. And that got me a little teary-eyed. But that's really been it. I mean, we know that the doctors have a good plan for this. Yeah, it's going to suck. There's going to be some really sucky moments, and he's gotten sick a few times. And this is the first cold that we've gotten in a year now, which is unfortunate, but it does happen. They are going to youth group on Wednesday nights. So yeah, it's just when I used to think, could be allergies. It's a little cold. It's no big deal. We'll still go. Now I'm like, yeah, we're not going if somebody's sick, because it could be his life.
Yeah.
Which is not something that, I really cared or valued before. Like, oh, it's a cold. It's not a big deal. But to him, it is. So if you know that someone around you is immunocompromised and can get sick easily, it kind of is a big deal. Yeah. But his uncle passed away to cancer, not this October, but last October. But he wasn't worried. He's like, oh, the kids are sick, whatever, bring them on over. So we kind of had a segue into cancer with him, seeing him go through it, that he was just so confident and it didn't matter. And he was going to live each day. And it's just kind of that reminder is we're not guaranteed tomorrow. None of us are. So enjoy it while we have it.
Yeah. So brilliantly said. And I can't thank you guys enough for being on here. And thank you to all, you guys for interviewing and coming up with those questions. And thank you, Ryan, for sharing, bits of your story with us. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but you inspire me a lot just hearing that. So thank you. I think a lot of people are going to hear this and be really inspired by you. So, you said God's got a plan for you, right? And I think part of God's plan for all of us is telling our stories, because you never know who out there needs to hear it. And so thank you for doing that today, Ryan.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for listening to our podcast.
And I hope you enjoyed it.
Mr. Jody's so up.